NTP toxicity study that was done by the United States government. It was released on November 1st, 2018. They did it on nocturnal mammals. They used 1G, 2G, and 3G phones. Okay? This is way before 5G. In those animals, they found humongous problems. You can look this study up on the internet. Every G causes a different resonance problem. Like 1G isn't equivalent to 5. 4 isn't equivalent to 5.
And you mean like different tuning fork issue?
Correct. Certain people have different mitochondrial haplotypes. We also have different skin types. Every single screen, have you ever stopped and asked yourself why we need Dan Huber's glasses? Because they have found through the programs that the government sponsored, at Tulane Neurosurgery and Neurology, it's called MK Ultra, that they were able to control people through light waves, wires in their head to figure out how they can control the behavior of monkeys. That's actually was done in a place close to where I went to medical school. I knew about all of these studies.
So we can be controlled by light waves?
No, not we can, we are.
We are.
Okay? Update your knowledge base. Why does every computer have a blue light screen? Why doesn't it come pre-loaded with Flux or Iris? Well, there's a reason for that. Do you know what the reason is? Because the blue light lowers your dopamine and melatonin level so that you become addicted. Who got that information first? Was it the CIA through the MK Ultra program? No, it wasn't. It was the mafia. You know how they got it? It's how they built Las Vegas. They put a city in a desert, in a geopathic stress zone, had water, magnetism, a great light. And then what they do, they put casinos out there, blocked all the light, and put one-armed bandits in there that made nothing but blue light. Dopamine levels fell sooner. You gave him your money.
Do you
faster.
have AT&T as your cell phone service? You need to listen to this. You need to send this around to everybody, and you need to follow me because I'm going to make new videos when I get new updates. Apparently, an AT&T is saying that a hacker stole the call and text records of nearly all of their customers. So if you have AT&T cell phone service, your records, your text messages, your phone records are now in the hands of a hacker. Verizon has AT&T has 127 million devices. And according to their news release, a hacker now has information on all of them. The company said this in an SEC filing. They didn't even release it to the media. The media found out because of a government filing. The hackers have 6 months worth of call and text message data. The company is still figuring out exactly what to do about this. They are telling everybody to take a close look at all of their documents and billing information. This just coming out.
Elon Musk tweeted, "The European Commission offered X an illegal secret deal. If we quietly censored speech without telling anyone, they would not fine us. The other platforms accepted that deal. X did not." I mean, this is amazing. The European Commission, right? This is like a backdoor deal. This is how these authoritarians do it. They try to pressure these companies, and the other platforms accepted that deal, right?
You remember when Julian Assange tweeted out this chart, which showed how many members of the media belong to the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, and the Trilateral Commission. And not only are these the CEOs, but for the longest time, many in the media denied the Bilderberg Group even existed as they attended the meetings. You could find the chart here. Then consider that 6 corporations control basically everything we see on television. So when Stephen A. Smith complains about being underpaid, he's really complaining to Disney, not just ESPN, because Disney owns ESPN. Then consider that the investment firms of Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street own basically everything. For example, they're the largest institutional investors in Disney. And this shows that the idea that there's free thought in media is an illusion, which is why I write books on the history of fake news, because the media is controlled from the top down. Hollywood is controlled from the top down.
So history was erased and rewritten, so we think that the royal bloodline is Queen Elizabeth, but it's not. Queen Elizabeth's family actually are descendants of Vlad the Impaler, who was a very big evil guy. He waged many wars, he killed millions of people, and he got the name Vlad the Impaler because he used to torture people in the most horrendous ways. The Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles bloodline come from this horrendous family of Vlad the Impaler. In the 1500s, there was a war where the true royal king of England, who held the Christos Sophia bloodline, the authentic galactic royalty bloodline, that was killed in a war. So the king was executed and his entire family was executed. The Rothschilds were involved in financing that war. This is a big truth bomb. The Rothschilds have had a plan to dominate humanity for thousands of years. And at that time, they were financing the war against the King of England, which they won. And then to install their own puppet in power, which they always do, they introduced the ancestors of Queen Elizabeth into the royal kingdom. So they became the fake king and queen at that time. They were placed in power, and the only deal that they made with these international elite banking families was that the royal family will carry out all of the instructions of the Rothschilds and all of these elite families. So the royal family was just placed as a front.
They've been hiding this from you. During the 1900s, bells around the world were all collected and destroyed. Governments claimed it was due to the metal shortage during the world wars. However, it is believed that there is a much more sinister motive. Bells are powerful tools. They are not just signals that another hour has passed. These bells clear negative energy, raise vibrations, and connect us with higher realms. Fully aware of this, they were destroyed to suppress human awakening and maintain control over our collective consciousness. By eliminating these powerful instruments, society is forced to a lower vibrational state, and a further disconnect is made between us and the realms above. But it gets even deeper. In 1953, the standard frequency of music was intentionally adjusted from 432 Hz to 440 Hz. The 440 Hz frequency is considered disharmonious and disruptive to our energy fields, while the 432 Hz frequency is believed to align with the Earth's natural resonance, promoting healing and awakening. Without the sound of bells and the constant exposure to modern music, society is being kept at a lower vibrational state, resulting in our connection to the divine being weakened.
Why did a WikiLeaks released email in 2016 involving Hillary Clinton say, quote, "I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch"? Carthage was a city located in modern-day Tunisia, destroyed during the Third Punic War in 146 BC. The archaeologists quickly found tens of thousands of urns buried beneath the earth. The urns contained the bones and ashes of animals. Among the discoveries, the archaeologists also unearthed various artifacts with the inscription MLK. And thanks to hidden camera footage released to the public, a modern-day ritual involving Moloch happens yearly at the infamous site of Bohemian Grove. You see, Bohemian Grove is a camp retreat for the most elite people of the world. This includes celebrities, politicians, ultra-wealthy business people, and even US presidents. The footage depicts a bizarre gathering around a wooden statue of an owl, the symbol of Bohemian Grove. Members stand around it, dressed in strange costumes, chanting and praying to the owl. Then the owl is set on fire with a torch as members chant and applaud amidst the blaze. There is now debate online that this owl is supposed to symbolize Molech.
15-minute city thing. Cars, they are the epitome of individual liberty. Peterson actually has pointed this out.
I think there's two marks of tyranny right now. People who hate comedians, people who hate automobiles. Man, that's a line of war for me. It's like, really? Keep your hands off my fucking car.
Yeah, right.
Prick. Yeah, well, you think about what a car stands for. It's like radical autonomy and privacy.
You see what happened in California recently? So first of all, in 2026, all vehicles made have to have a shutoff in America. That was a Biden initiative. Now by 2028, all vehicles in California that are speeding, this is working its way through. I imagine it will go through. If you're speeding, your car will beep at you, like as if you're not wearing your seatbelt. And if you think about that, the only way to employ that strategy is if you know where I am every moment. Otherwise, you wouldn't know the speed limit. The 15-minute cities, which Edmonton, Toronto, and Montreal are all already stated as going to be a part of, they say 0 private car ownership is the goal by 2030, 0 kilograms of meat consumption, 3 items of clothing per person per year, and then also limiting people to 1 short-haul flight every 3 years. These initiatives, that's where they end up planning to go. That's not coming from conspiracy theorists. This is directly in their C40 initiatives, which you can find on their website.
Brought man the gift of fire. Prometheus. Who was Prometheus? Lucifer. There would be no society without fire. That's how it's represented in the ancient myths and in the mysteries. These people learned how to control others through the use of a hidden knowledge. This ability to keep that fire going was a technology that nobody else knew. By observing the fire, by keeping it going, by creating ceremonies around this fire, they became a mystery to the others. A mystery always holds sway over those who don't understand it. And the priesthood was born. No king ever existed without the permission of the priesthood. I don't care what religion you're talking about or what period of history you're talking about, it is the truth. The kings never had the power and don't to this day. Kings exist at the whim of the real power, which is the priesthood standing behind the throne.
Imagine mentally serving 10 years of prison time in just 10 minutes. A scientist is working to make this happen. Let me explain. Cognify, developed by Hashim Al-Galahi, is a futuristic approach to criminal rehabilitation that combines AI with neuroscience. The technology involves implanting artificial memories directly into a prisoner's brain, making them experience their crimes from the victim's perspective. The rehabilitation session lasts for several minutes but feels like years to the criminal due to the altered perception of time within their mind. This intense experience aims to induce emotional states like remorse or regret, which some individuals may not produce on their own. Supporters of Cognify say it has the potential to revolutionize the criminal justice system by shifting the focus from punishment to rehabilitation, treating the people as patients instead of prisoners. They believe this method will lower the recidivism rate for prisoners and, quote, could enable them to reintegrate into society sooner and contribute to the workforce. While the potential benefits of Cognify are significant, the technology also raises several ethical concerns, including issues of consent, the potential for misuse, and the long-term psychological impacts on the individual. Many social media users have already drawn parallels to Clockwork Orange or a Black Mirror episode. What do you think about this method of prison reform?
According to Snyder, the U.S. government signed an agreement in 1954 with extraterrestrials, granting them the right to experiment on humans and cattle in exchange for technology. This agreement was known as the Grenada Treaty, and it is a well-documented event. The original terms for this treaty were that only a small number of humans would be abducted. They had to be returned to their original locations, and their memories had to be wiped. The aliens were supposed to submit a list of the individuals they were taking to Majestic 12, a government-overseen committee. However, after a few years of this, it became clear that the aliens were taking far more humans than they had originally bargained for, which spawned the origins of the alien-human conflict that persists to this day.
Harvard scientists are saying that aliens may be living among us. In this scientific journal, the Harvard researchers list 4 different types of possibilities of aliens living among us. Let's get into it. The first type is human crypto-terrestrials, a technologically advanced ancient human civilization that was largely destroyed long ago, for example by a flood, but continue to exist in remnant form. This gets crazier as I go, stick with me. Second possibility is hominid or theropod crypto-terrestrials, a technologically advanced non-human civilization consisting of some terrestrial animal that evolved to live in stealth, aka underground. The paper suggests there could be an ape-like hominid descendant or descendants of unknown intelligent dinosaurs. So what are we talking here? Are we talking like Bigfoot and reptilians, lizard people, and Sasquatch? Is that what we got going on here in number 2? The third possibility is extraterrestrial or extra-terrestrial crypto-terrestrial. Okay, so these guys would have arrived on Earth from elsewhere in the cosmos or from the human future and concealed themselves in stealth, such as in the moon. So these are aliens from another planet, possibly in another galaxy, in another universe. Or these are time travelers who are human, but they come from the future and they're hiding in the moon. Possibility number 4 are simply called CTH4. They are the magical crypto-terrestrials. And long story short, these are things that we refer to as fairies or elves or nymphs and all those little magical creatures that run around. Well, now you know why it costs over $300,000 to get an undergraduate degree from Harvard, because they need to fund research such as this. Whatever would we do without this information?